Welcome to Silverstrike Tech, and today we are talking about the 2.4 grams wireless controller gamepad featuring the GameStick Lite. Some interesting points on the box. It talks about how this device has no built-in game content and how users have to install it themselves and pay attention to copyright and stuff. Interesting talking about piracy in that way, and that'll come up in the future for sure. It's a pretty average box. This is your average Joe cardboard box. Exactly what you'd expect from a box. And here we have it, the GameStick Lite. It is definitely kind of like a stick, not exactly. And it has HDMI capabilities. Even better, the controllers, which are PlayStation controllers to a T. These are just PS3 controllers, but worse quality, of course, but they are PS3 controllers. They feel cheap, but the ergonomics are good, not to any merit of whoever these guys are, but exactly. We have some cords. Don't know what those are for. So that's what all this stuff looks like. Let's see how stuff runs. This USB goes in the USB, what do you know? And then you have the cord, which actually plugs into the other port you see here. The controllers take AAAs, and I am absolutely sure. When I say AAAs, I mean AAAs. As I put the AAAs in the AAA slot.
Backwards.
Really? Oh, there was a crease in the plastic that made the minus sign look like a plus sign. Check that out, it's already got lights on it. That's amazing. I love lights.
Professional game chip. Did you notice?
I've got a lot of it, but yeah, what does that mean? Professional.
Probably not very professional.
Check that out. Lovely. I mean, it might register still, but it's not going in as it should. I imagine you enter.
Go over the list.
How do you use the shoulder button? Yeah.
The first one looks kind of tacky.
So there's a list of the games. That's not named KOF99. Oh, it's an abbreviation. King of Fighters 1999. Alright, so they did pirate. That's a real franchise. Oh. And let's see how the consoles run. The sound effects are really, really bad. That is a link to the past. So they have first-party games illegitimately. Oh my goodness, what is that?
It's Chinese.
Oh, there it goes. That's better. It's in Japanese, so that might matter. Except when it's not in Japanese, in which case that's okay. This is the actual thing. We'll see how it emulates and play, but it's doing good so far. I want to check out the higher-end consoles to see how it runs those, though. So beyond not being able to tell what any of this is saying, it's pretty great so far, and also beyond being illegal by some, namely Nintendo standards. Although PlayStation's also Japanese, and the international copyright laws are a complete mess. Scrolling's pretty funny. It's not emulated perfectly. You can see the warp lines as the frames load. I have to talk to some people real quick. Oh, that wasn't great. Did you see it start crackling? So the emulation is not super great, at least for this low-end 2D Game Boy game. The professional game chip is really pulling its weight, for sure, professionally. Oh, that's horrible. What is it doing? The tiles are offsetting by pixels. It's like you're looking underwater. Oh, how do you leave the game? This is not great. Let's look at some PS1, see how well that runs. The PS1 has limited games on it that they put on the emulator for some reason. What a doozy. This one's running perfect. I don't know. Not perfect, actually. Never mind then. Sorry. It's running at all. There's some lag there that kicks in. Oh yeah, that's pretty bad, that's pretty bad. The original graphics were smoother. And now it's frozen. Yeah, pretty poor, pretty poor. Alright. So it can't run Game Boy. For the GBA, it's got a good... And a lot of the AAA games too. Things that you recognize the names of and the games of. Metroid. It's not Metroid, it's Metroid. I really hate that sound.
That better?
Yeah, that's much better. What is that? Animal Administrator?
I don't know.
How odd.
Yeah.
Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy. This runs bad on the GBA, so I want to see how bad it runs on this thing. This is gonna be terrible. This cover of Cantina Band is something special. Why not give it a shot? So we still get some of that warp, but it's running so far. Now, I did see a game that runs really badly on a GBA. So I wonder if it would function. Like, this one doesn't run great, but it runs pretty well, especially compared to the original. But there's one game that I just remembered that I saw that's hitting 5 FPS. If only it had the menu music of the Go Gamer Classic.
The music.
It is good though.
The music's the best part of this thing.
Yep, no, it's definitely worth your money. Let's play some F-Zero. Let's see how that runs. It shouldn't be bad. It should be okay. It's running pretty good. So it handles the SNES pretty good. And it has a lot of SNES games. A lot of them. I recognize a lot of them, but like as games that I haven't played because they don't seem worth playing. So the emulation is not great on anything above a GBA. But the emulation is also not really that bad. So really this is a cheap emulator, and you can tell by everything it does. But it's not necessarily bad for what it is. It costs $40. So that's pretty expensive, but considering what's all on here, not bad, except also it's illegal, so make of that what you will. Except that they have that handy dandy thing on the box that says that we put these games on here, not them. Ooh, luckily that hasn't been a problem yet. It'll make headlines eventually.
It has Atari games too.
Yeah, let's check those out. So this is definitely more worth it than the Go Gamer Classic, especially since they cost the same on Amazon, but you can probably find better options for comparable prices and more legal options, but you won't be too disappointed, only a little bit, if you buy this. Also fun, yeah, the Asterix series is about a Gaul who beats up Romans. It's a European thing. That's why you've never heard of it. Oh yeah, Atari. These look riveting. Oh, it has very few games for Atari. Not that there's plenty of Atari games. There's not a whole lot of good ones. Where am I? Where am I? What do you know? This runs just fine. Who would have thought? Oh, that's the Famicom. It's the NES, but the what it was in not America. I don't know if Europe had the same one as us. Might have been just an Asia thing.
Super Mario Bros. 3.
The third one. The aspect ratio is hurting my brain right now. That doesn't seem right. I'm beating the first level, guys. Oh, this is an NES game, and look at that. The edge is glitching, and it's doing the same problem it had with the GBA, but kind of worse because the graphics are simpler. Come on, man, you can't handle this. Come on, man. In conclusion, it's a cheap rip-off illegal emulator, but it does offer something for some people if you want to get something budget, and it would definitely be a great gift for kids because they won't care if the frames drop a little bit or if there's warping in the tiles. They won't really care. So to get for a budget emulator, this is a great option for the cheap ones. Thanks for watching Silverstrike. You can support us on patreon.com/Silverstrike. It would really help out the channel. Consider giving us a like and subscribe if you like this video. Try some Chick-fil-A. It's really good.